Let's look at Bob. Bob is torturing himself on a treadmill. Meanwhile, over here is Henry, effortlessly inhaling a massive cheeseburger. If you've ever felt like standard fitness advice is broken, you aren't alone. You log hours of grueling exercise, endure the punishment, and still don't see the results you expect. To understand why this happens, we have to look at your total daily energy expenditure, or TDEE. This is the complete biological accounting of every single calorie your body burns in a 24-hour period. This pie chart breaks down that total daily energy expenditure. Notice this surprisingly tiny slice right here? That represents your deliberate exercise. All that time sweating in the gym accounts for only about 5% of your daily caloric burn. We inherited this mindset from an older era. We've treated the human body like a mechanical engine, revved up with synchronized calisthenics and raw effort. We pour all of our energy and willpower into that tiny 5% slice, completely ignoring the vast majority of our metabolism. When you see someone maintaining a lean physique without ever stepping foot in a gym, you aren't witnessing a genetic miracle. You are seeing a highly active hidden engine called non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or NEAT. NEAT encompasses all the unconscious, spontaneous movements you make throughout the day, pacing on a phone call, bouncing of your knee, and gesturing while you talk. Looking at this nutritional guide, you can see that NEAT is a massive contributor to your energy output. It accounts for anywhere from 20 to 35% of your total daily burn. This is exactly where severe diets backfire. When you aggressively restrict your food intake to lose weight, your body doesn't know you're trying to get a six-pack. It perceives a famine. To keep you alive, your brain subconsciously begins reducing your spontaneous movement. You stop fidgeting. You sit a little longer. You blink slower. Your body is silently turning down the volume on your energy output. Your own evolutionary survival mechanisms trap you in a frustrating plateau. You eat less, but you also quietly burn less, completely stalling your progress. On the other side of the equation is your caloric intake. We're taught to trust the numbers printed on the back of a package, but those labels are essentially biological lies. The calorie counting system we use today was developed over a century ago. Researchers calculated food energy by literally burning it inside a sterile, closed container and measuring the heat it gave off. But your stomach is not a sterile incinerator. What actually matters is caloric availability, the amount of energy your digestive system is physically capable of extracting from the food you eat. Take a stalk of raw celery. Your body has to work incredibly hard to break down its tough, fibrous cellular walls, leaving you with a net gain of maybe 6 calories. But if you take that exact same stalk of celery and cook it in a stew, the heat breaks down those walls for you. Because the cooking process did the digestive work up front, your body easily extracts 5 times the amount of energy. That 6-calorie snack suddenly becomes 30 calories. The way your food is prepared and processed drastically alters your metabolic accounting.
You can eat the exact same number of stated calories, yet absorb wildly different amounts of actual energy. This helps explain why highly restrictive, clean eating diets are almost impossible to maintain. If you eat a small handful of almonds, you ingest a dense pocket of calories, but your stomach remains physically empty, triggering intense neurological hunger alarms. You can bypass those alarms by eating high-volume, water-rich foods like watermelon or large salads. These foods carry very few calories but take up massive amounts of physical space. Look at the anatomy of the stomach here. As high-volume food physically pushes against the stomach walls, it activates biological sensors called stretch receptors. They immediately send fullness signals to your brain, shutting off your hunger drive. You can compound this effect with protein. Protein requires a tremendous amount of biological effort to digest, creating a steep metabolic tax. Because the digestive process is so complex, a person might appear perfectly thin on the outside, but internally, that organ fat is driving up insulin resistance and paving the way for chronic metabolic disease. Your external appearance is not an accurate measure of your internal health. Looking thin does not guarantee metabolic safety. To clear out that dangerous visceral fat, spending hours on a treadmill isn't the most effective strategy. Cardio provides a temporary calorie burn, but resistance training changes the actual composition of your body. Lifting weights builds highly active muscle tissue. Muscle requires a constant supply of energy just to exist.
meaning you are effectively installing a larger, permanently running engine inside your body that burns calories even when you sleep. Escaping the diet trap requires a shift away from punishment. It means adopting a sustainable baseline, prioritizing high-volume, protein-rich foods, and embracing spontaneous daily movement. You integrate activity directly into your existence. You walk, you stand, you fidget, and you move simply as a byproduct of living your life. Sustainable health is never a lifelong battle of starvation and suffering. It is mastering the hidden levers of energy balance to make your own biology work in your favor.